The purpose of this video is to make you familiar with some of the tools that you will be seeing on your PARCC test and the different types of questions. To begin with, let's look at these arrows. Okay, these are what will get you to the next question. So if you click next, that will bring you to your next question. And if you hit back, you'll go to the back question. Here's something called review. If you hit review, you will see all the questions listed on the test. You will see we didn't answer these questions and we didn't view these yet. And this is where you can go to another question. You can hit view. So we're going to back to the first question. Okay? And if you flag a question, this is when, if you're confused or you want to not spend too much time on a question and move on, you would flag it. Once you flag it and you're done with a section of the test, you will hit review and it will tell you that you flagged this question. So when you're done, you can check all your questions and see which ones you flagged and know which one you want to go back to if you didn't answer it or if you want to change your answer. The pointer is what you're usually on most of the time. That's what allows you to navigate around the screen and to click on your answers. The protractor brings up a protractor when you need it, and if you need to measure something, you move it around. So you just kind of click on it and drag and you can move it around the screen. To take it off, you need to click it again. Okay? And with these tools, you'll know they're on because the box will be gray. So if you click the box gray, it's on, and you see it. Off to take it off. Here's a ruler, okay? And it says that it's a centimeter ruler, okay? And it says centimeters here. And again, if you click and drag, you can move it to wherever you need it on the screen. To get rid of it, take it off. You put it on. These help you rotate. So these little buttons at the end, these two knobs, you move it to the middle, and you want to measure this line, and you want to angle so you can get it just right. Okay, you would use these knobs to rotate so you can measure, and then you would take it off. This box is an answer eliminator. If you click this on, this will allow you to look at your answers, and when you hover over an answer, you can cross out ones that you know are wrong. So let's say you think A is wrong and C is wrong. Now you can change this. To get rid of it, you need to go back on it and click it again, and you'll see that it gets light, and then you can pull away, and then you can change it. To take it off altogether, you click it off, and it'll keep the ones that you already eliminated. But if you want to go back and still take this one off, click it back on, click on the X, let it go grayed out, and pull it away. But notice it's still on. So if you go to the next question or try to do anything else, your answer eliminator is still on, so you need to turn it off. Under this arrow, okay, is another few tools. Your name will appear here where it says guest. If you do this drop-down menu, you have a magnifier, which will allow you to make something bigger. So if you can't see the numbers in this graph, and again, you click and drag and move it where you need it. And to get rid of it, you go back and take it off. Disable means to get rid of it. When the check mark is there, that means it's on. So I want to take it off. Another tool that's available to you in this drop-down menu is a line reader. If you click on that, it'll bring up this box that will block out some text. So if you'd like to look at one line at a time, one answer at a time, okay, this will allow you to do that. Now you can make this box bigger if you'd like with these lines if you click and drag down, but it only lets you go that far, okay, and then you can move it. Okay? You can also make the window bigger, and that's again as big as it lets you go. So you can move it when you have this cross cursor in the green area. You can move it to wherever you want. Okay? You can also take this part and drag it over, okay, so that maybe you want to see your answers. Maybe all you want to do is look at this part and the directions and block out the graph for now. Okay, so you can do that, and then you can move it where you want. Or you can move it here to do one answer at a time. Okay, to take it off, again, you need to go to the drop-down menu and hide it, and it gets rid of it. To put it back, you just go up here and toggle again, line reader. Another thing is this little box that says exhibits on the side. If you click on that, it'll bring up your reference sheet. So in the past, you used to actually get a separate sheet with formulas. They're here now in this PARCC reference sheet. Okay, so you can close it and open it as often as you need it. There are several types of questions on the PARCC Math exam that you may not be used to seeing. The first one is just a simple box where you would type in your answer, and then you would hit delete if you need to change it. Another type of question could be a longer box, and you see this sort of toolbar here. The first thing to know is if you see this blue button with the down arrow, and if you hover, it says more. You need to click it so that it brings up all the tools you will need. Now you've noticed as I go over them, if you hover over, it'll tell you what it is. So if you're not sure what this button is, it's a cube root, a square root, the powers, here's a bracket, absolute value, pi. So if you hover over, it'll tell you what they are. Okay, this would be your undo, this is your redo, and your clear. So if you need to type an equation and you need to put in a fraction, you would hit the fraction button. Okay, you notice your cursor is at the top. If you need to put your first number is 6. Okay, now let's say you want to put 7 underneath. You need to click and 7. Okay, you notice that when this gray bar was through the box, it was telling me I wasn't in the right place. Okay, so now space is not allowed. Okay, so now if I want to do plus, okay, now notice I put the plus here and it put it on the bottom. So I want to undo that because I don't want that. I actually want the plus here. Okay, so I want to do plus, and maybe I have a mixed number. I'm going to hit mixed number, and when my cursor is by this box, that means it'll put it there. And then I need to see where this box is here. It's not going to put it there, it's right in the middle. It's going to put another whole number. I want to go on top, so I want to make sure that my cursor is up top. Okay, and it's telling me it's not going to go here, it will go here. So I'm going to put a 1. Whoop. Now I made a mistake again, so I want to undo it. Okay, and I want to put my cursor up there. There we go. So I want my 1. Now I want to bring my cursor down here. And again, now it's next to the box, so I can use it. 1/2. Okay, and let's say that is your final answer. Okay, you leave it that way. There's no other enter button or anything that you need to put there. So you would just go on to your next question. If you see a question with square boxes, that means you're looking for more than one answer, and the directions will tell you that. Select all that apply. And when you click on it, you'll notice there's a little check inside instead of the usual circle that you're used to. Okay, so this means that you need more than one answer. It can be 2 or it can be all of them. It depends on the question. Okay, but when you see one with a circle, it's only one answer. You'll see the dot. Now if you get confused or forget that, you'll notice that if you try to click more than one, it goes away from here. So you know that when it's a circle, it's only one answer. Check boxes, more than one answer. Another type of question are drag and drop, and there's all different types of drag and drop. So here you see a number line, okay, and it's asking you to put the fractions where they belong. So again, you will hover, okay, you will click and hold and drag, and as soon as you move it out of here, the boxes turn blue, indicating that it has to go in one of these boxes. So if I want to put them here, and you order them, now you know you need to fill in all the boxes, so all of these need to be placed in boxes. And again, if you want to change it, if you want to click and drag and pull it out and put it in this box, okay, if you're not sure where this one goes yet, you want to take it out, put it back into the gray box, it will put it there. And again, once you have assigned a number to each box, you have answered it. So again, there's no submit or enter button. You just move on to your next question. For this question, you're given a table with check boxes. And for this one, they're asking you for each of these intervals to put in an answer. So you will have an answer per row. So in this case, let's say this one is increasing, this one is decreasing, this one is neither. So you need to go down for each row and put in an answer for this type of question. Notice that this box popped up. It doesn't pop up for every question. So if it pops up, it's probably an indication that maybe there's something on there that might help you. Okay, maybe, maybe not. But there are questions where it doesn't pop up at all, which means you don't need it. So I would think if it does pop up, maybe it's something that you might want to take a look at. And again, once you put in your answers, you just go to the next question. There's no submit or enter button to make sure you submit that answer. Just clicking and going to the next question is how you submit it. Another type of question, here's another one of those boxes, and here's another one of the tools. Now you'll notice this one says math symbols, and the arrow is down, so it's showing you all of the symbols. And again, if you hover, you can find out what they are. This one, though, you see two others down here. So this says relations. If you click, the arrow right now is facing to the right, which means it's hiding the tools that are under here. If you click with this arrow down, it brings up all the relations toolbars and buttons that you may use, okay? And you need to scroll now to go back up to math symbols, okay? And then geometry, same thing, click it and it will bring up your geometry symbols. Now, if you need those, okay, you click on it and it will put it in the box. If you want to get rid of it, you can either do undo or backspace or delete. So you have to be careful of what it's asking you, what symbols you're going to need. If you find that you don't need any geometry symbols for this one, you can click on this again and hide them. Okay, this way you don't have to scroll through as many tools. And here's the scroll bar where you would scroll up and down to see all the tools that you would need for that question. Okay, this type is another one, and it has pull-down menus. So there's two boxes, so you're going to put two answers, but if you click on this arrow down, that's what you're choosing from. So it's sort of like a multiple choice in a different form with a pull-down menu. So now you would choose one of those answers and make sure you choose one there. Okay, and again, you would hit next to go to the next one. Here's another question with a table, but this time it's going by columns. So this one is asking you for this system of equations right here. This way you have to go down and answer, is there no solution, one solution, or infinitely many? And the same for this column. So sometimes there's tables where you have to answer by the row, and some that you have to answer by the column. So in this case, okay, you need to answer by the column. For a question like this, it's asking you to make a histogram. So what it does is, here's the data, and I'm just going to scroll up a little bit so you can see the bottom of a histogram. What you do here is you just hover over the box that you want to change, and you see that it comes up with the age range, okay, and you hold on it, pull, and drag up. So it gives you the bars, and then you just kind of pull them up and down where you want. Again, if you want to adjust it afterwards, you can do that. And like all the other questions, you just hit next to go on to the next one. Here's another type of number line question, but this time you click on the answer where you want it. So if you think that's it, you go on the box and you click. Okay? You can change to another point if you know that's wrong. I want to put it over here. Okay, but you can't take it off totally, which kind of helps you to indicate before you leave this question that you need to put an answer somewhere. So there's this type of question. Here's a graph now. I'm going to need to scroll up and down to show you the whole entire question. So here's your graph. Okay, so once you have your information up here, you need to make 3 lines, and they name them for you, and a point. So when you see this arrow sticking out, that's the one you're on right now. So let's say I'm going to make line S, and it tells me 2 points. Once it's clicked on it, when you hover over here, you'll see a little crosshair. Okay, let's say your first point goes here. Now you're making a line, so you need to make your second point. So let's say our second point belongs here. Once you make your second point, it will automatically draw the line because you're making a line. Okay, now if decided that that's wrong, okay, and you want to move it, you can just move the point and it will automatically move the line for you. Let's say you want to start over or get rid of this point. If you click on it once, it will take it away. And now click on it again, I want to take that away. So I do want to have a line S, so again I'm going to just pick 2 points for now to show you how to draw it, and automatically draws it. Now I need to move on to my second line, which is line T. Okay, and again they change the color, everything for you. You don't have to do anything but plot the points. So let's put that one here, and maybe here. Oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake. I'm going to click on it again, take it off, I want to move it down here. Okay, now this point is just a point, so it's only going to leave the 1 point there for you. And if you need to make more than 1 point, it's not going to connect them. Okay, in this case you only need to make 1 point, that's why it moved it over here. So you can't make 2 points and make a line because you're just making 1 point. Okay, and again that's how you would leave this question and move on to the next one to answer, to leave your answers where they are. It's important to remember, even if you're answering a question in a table and there's a square box, that still means there can be more than one answer, okay, either by the row or by the column. So you can still have more than one answer if there's a square in a table. Here's a table with circles, which means it's only going to have one answer, but you have to be careful and see what it's asking you, because it's either going to have one answer across the row or the column. For this one, it actually is the column. So if you look at this function right here, it's asking if it's linear or nonlinear. Okay, and you'll see that it will take it off because it can only have one answer. But you have to be careful because you need to have one answer in each column. Okay, so you can, but you only need to have one answer, okay, per column here, and you'll see that it'll toggle back and forth. Another type of question is a number line. Now in this number line, they're asking you to plot a point, and it's saying to plot the point with the location of what you think the square root of 14 is. So let's say if you think that it belongs somewhere on here on your number line in this region, if you click on it, it'll bring up this other graphic. Now in this blue box, they're telling you that from 3.5, and you can see it says 3.5 here, to 4. Okay, this is sort of a zoomed out version of this small area of the number line. So you need to think about where your point goes on this portion in the number line. So let's say we think we go there, we click it, and now it appears on the number line up here. You can click and drag and move it, and you'll see that it moves up top here. Okay, so you actually need to place it where you think it goes. So let's say my final point is there. Okay, so that's telling me you think it kind of belongs right in between 3.5 and 4. Okay, so this is just a zoomed out portion of whatever area that you click on up here. Okay, if you change this area now, let's say, nope, I want it over there. Okay, then you can take your point over there, click over here, and it moves it to that section. In this question, it's asking you to put these functions in order from least to greatest. So when you get your information from the table here, you need to arrange these three. So you can see you highlight it, they turn gray. So you basically highlight, click, and drag, and move them however you think that the order needs to be. So the important thing to remember is that these tools are here. These will stay here for all of the questions. Okay, and in this one, okay, you'll see that you have a calculator because you're in the calculator section. So if you click on this, you have all of these tools available. You may need to move it up to you. Okay, you have all of these tools to use. These do not give you an idea of what the buttons are when you hover. So you have to know what some of these are. Okay, and most of them you do. And to click it, close it, okay, and it will be there. Okay, don't forget that up here you have the line reader and the magnifier. And don't forget that when this exhibit buttons opens up, it'll give you your different formulas and things that you may need to answer that question.